Hello friends, and probably mostly family members. We're back in Chandler's Bitchin kitchen. It is no longer time for chicken grease. Now it's time for chicken eggs. Eggs are great. They're the perfect food. Rich in fat and protein, and they're literally the building blocks of life. Lives cut short. Dark. Let's move on. We're going to do soft, creamy scrambled eggs today with some little toast soldiers. And I know Kenji already did a video on this, but he's kind of my hero, the one I don't want to meet. And I'm just following his lead here. So in case I don't get any other footage filmed this weekend, at least I have this. So I've got ready in the toaster, ready to go. I've got my delicious homemade sourdough bread. Just a big old piece. I'm going to toast that when we get close to the end here and cut it into little strips for dipping. Put that in there. It's ready to go. I've got 3 eggs beaten with a pinch of kosher salt, and they've been sitting for about 5 minutes. If you mix your salt into your eggs, it will prevent the proteins from coagulating as tightly later when it cooks, and it will prevent moisture loss in the finished product, which is a pretty important part. Also, I have some delicious low-fat sour cream. I've got a little bit of ground black pepper, all ground up, ready to go, and 2 tablespoons of butter melted in a non-stick pan. Also, I'm using a silicone-coated whisk to do the heavy lifting here for me. So let's get into it. I'm going to turn the heat back on. I'm going to keep this relatively low so that I can do this under control. I can monitor it, cook it just up to maybe the 80 or 90% mark, and then I call it, because there's some residual heat called carryover in the business that will cook the eggs in their final resting place, which will be in just another bowl somewhere. Let's see here. And then we'll do a nice pretty bowl. All right. Butter doesn't need to be hot because we're not going for big curd formation here. That's good. I don't want to hear anything when the eggs hit the pan, because that would suggest that the bottom is already beginning to cook. Let me get my sour cream ready to go. I also have a little bit of ham and Gruyere cheese off to the side that I'm going to incorporate later on once these are warmed up. So you can see little curds are beginning to form already, so we need to get moving to keep the eggs in even contact with the pan, bust up any big curds we've already formed. You really can't sit still on this. This is going to be decidedly French in style, so if some people say undercooked, but I would say if minimally cooked eggs are not your thing, then you might as well just move on to the next YouTube video in your queue, because actually, stick around. Maybe this will change your mind. Some people get weirded out by minimally cooked eggs because they associate them with salmonella and food poisoning. And I'm sure that used to be a problem, but despite all the bad press that the industrial chicken farmers get, the eggs themselves, I mean, they're great. Now you see that? You can't see the bottom of the pan anymore. We've got this fine texture going on. I'm going to turn on my toaster and come back to this as quickly as I can. Get some toast points on the go. Keep this moving. Oh yeah, that's going too fast. Kill the heat. I'm going to add my cheese right now so I give it a chance to incorporate. Yeah, that's not touching the heat again because those are already almost there. So sprinkle the cheese around. That's just shredded and then cut into tiny bits. Now, the residual heat of the eggs should melt that cheese a little bit. And we can season right at the end. Also, when I incorporate the sour cream, and this is a great point that Kenji makes, is that it arrests the cooking of everything else because it's so much colder. It's straight out of the fridge. So that's about as far as I want to take these. In fact, I may have gone too far because you can see little individual curds in there. That's because I didn't agitate continuously. I do not make this all the time. Okay. And what the heck, while I'm at it, I'm going to add, I've already gone over, so I might as well just, I'm going to add that sour cream now, do a quick mix up so I don't get any of the water on the surface. Low fat is not ideal here. You really, let's be serious. You're already having eggs, so just commit. Crumble in some bacon. Oh yeah. See, the color lightens up ever so slightly. I'm going to get these out of here. Good move to learn is to agitate the pan on the diagonal and to do circles with whatever your stirring implement is, or even just back and forth, because the sum of those two motions is a circle. So if I go this way with the pan and this way with the whisk, in the end, I get approximately a circle. And every once in a while you circle around like one of those old spirograph toys, you know, make a pattern in there and just muss it up. Don't let any corner go unattended. This little non-stick pan is great because the corners are rounded. It's not straight-sided, so my whisk can get right down into the corners and move everything around. Okay, I'm gonna add my ham to this, which of course I did not chop in advance because I'm an amateur. All that talk about mise en place, here I am, not even practicing what I preach. But hey, that's home cooking for you. So I'm just going to sprinkle in part of this because I don't want to dominate it completely with ham flavor. Mix it in, and maybe for a little textural or color contrast, we're going to add in some dried, actually, I've got some dried chives here. These aren't great, but members of the allium family, that is onions, garlic, chives, leeks, they dehydrate reasonably well, and they keep their flavor. I like a little onion with my egg, so that should go nicely, and it'll give us a little intrigue in the bowl. Okay, one final whisk to combine, and then I'm going to get my trusty silicone spatula out to get all of this out the bowl. Okay, you go over here, bowl, speaking clearly. Go, start at the top. I like to start at the top, do swooping motion that grabs the far edge, cleans it off, and then scrape from the top down. Please don't treat that as me condescending to you. It's just what I think works best to get most of your stuff out of the pan with the minimum amount of fussing and scraping. Okay, delicious edges here. There you go. Smooth her out. Clean that edge. If they're done in the pan, they're overdone by the time they hit the bowl. So these are great. This probably makes some of you sick, but these are fine. They're absolutely fine. And what else do I have? I have a little bit of pepper, which I ground moments ago. And come on, don't dump it all, that's all. There. Pepper's powerful stuff in its fresh form. It can easily overpower delicately flavored eggs. Toast is toasted. Not visibly any different, but we'll cut this, actually butter it off camera. Isn't this interesting? You're just staring at a finished bowl of scrambled eggs while I do, actually I suppose I could just come over here and we can spend some more quality time together. Hi, how was your morning? It's 2 p.m. here, but this is breakfast because I worked today. Work from home. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it is mine. Imagine this was my job? Man. All right, now we're going to cut these into delicious little strips, aka soldiers. I don't know if that's a naval British tradition, perhaps. Could be French. Look it up. I'm sure you'll be interested by what you find. Let's keep the plates consistent here. Because, like everything, we're doing it for the gram. I have an Instagram account, but I don't use it, so really this is just for my own posterity. Here we go. Soldiers, all in a row. And creamy French-style scrambled eggs with Gruyere and ham. Delicious. Actually, I'm going to get into this. You guys never see me actually eat this thing. A little dip. Oh, yeah. Mmm. And then at the end, you get to do the bread swipe. And it's just an excuse to go back and get more bread. All right. This requires my uninterrupted attention, so I'll see you next time. Thanks.